Why did the chocolate chip cookie visit a therapist? Because it felt crumby. Now that we've broken the ice, welcome to our sweet journey into the world of chocolate. If you've ever wondered how these delectable treats make their way from cacao trees to your taste buds, you're in for a treat. And yes, pun intended, chocolate. It's a universal love language. It's not just a sweet treat, it's a way of life for some of us. A day without chocolate? Unthinkable. It's like a day without sunshine. And let's be honest, who doesn't need a little bit of sunshine in their lives? Now, we all know that chocolate cravings are no laughing matter. They're as serious as a heart attack. Well, not literally, of course, but figuratively speaking, a chocolate craving can be a real emergency, demanding immediate attention. So brace yourselves, dear chocoholics. We're about to dive into the delicious, mouth-watering process of making chocolate. Our journey begins in a place where a chocolate bar would melt before it even knew it was a chocolate bar. The tropical regions growing cacao trees. Imagine, if you will, a world of lush, green canopies where the air is heavy with the scent of earth and growth. This is where our tale begins, with the cacao tree, the unsung hero of our chocolate story. Now, the cacao tree, a bit of a drama queen if you ask me, insists on perfect conditions to grow its precious pods. It requires just the right amount of rain, sun, and TLC. And what's inside these pods, you ask? Well, nestled within are the cacao beans, the future stars of our chocolate show. But these beans are not quite ready for the spotlight yet. They're a bit rough around the edges, like teenagers going through a grunge phase. They need a bit of refining. The first step in this transformative journey is harvesting. And no, it's not as simple as plucking an apple from a tree. These pods need to be carefully cut down with a machete. It's all very Indiana Jones, minus the rolling boulders and ancient curses. Next comes the fermentation process. Fermentation, the spa day of the cacao bean world. Our beans, like us after a long day, need a good fermentation bath. They're left to soak in their own juices for about 5 to 7 days. This is where they start to develop that chocolatey flavor we all know and love. After their spa retreat, the beans are left to dry under the sun. Think of this as their beach vacation, soaking up the sun, getting that nice tan. Finally, the beans are packed up and shipped off, ready to see the world. It's a bit like sending your kids off to college if your kids were destined to become delicious chocolate bars. So we've shipped our beans, they've traveled the world, and now they are ready to transform. Just like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, but tastier. Ever wondered what happens inside a chocolate factory? It's not all Oompa Loompas and rivers of chocolate, unfortunately. First off, we have roasting. Now, this isn't your typical Sunday roast. Nope, we're talking about cocoa beans here. Imagine these beans lounging around in a hot oven, catching some rays and turning that perfect shade of golden brown. It's their day at the beach, but without the sand and sunscreen. This roasting process is crucial, folks. It's what brings out that rich chocolatey flavor we all know and love. Next up is cracking and winnowing. Sounds like a tough day at the office, right? Well, it's actually the process of separating the cocoa nibs from the shells. The shells are put aside for composting, gardening, or even brewing a kind of cocoa tea. So even in the chocolate world, nothing goes to waste. Now we move on to grinding and conching. And no, we're not talking about a dance move here. The cocoa nibs are ground down into a thick paste known as chocolate liquor. Then, the chocolate liquor is mixed with sugar and cocoa butter. This mixture is then conched or mixed and heated for several hours. It's a bit like a really intense gym session for the chocolate, helping it to become smooth and creamy. Next, we have tempering. It's not about losing your cool, but rather, it's a process that involves careful heating and cooling of the chocolate to give it a glossy finish and that satisfying snap when you break it. It's like the chocolate spa day where it gets all pampered and pretty. Finally, we've got the molding. This is where the chocolate takes the shape we're all familiar with. It's poured into molds and then cooled down. This is the chocolate's final form, folks. It's like the superhero transformation of the chocolate world. And voila, We have our smooth, shiny, and oh so delicious chocolate ready to be devoured. But remember, chocolate doesn't ask silly questions. Chocolate understands. Phew, who knew making chocolate could be such a roller coaster ride? We've been to the bar, journeyed through the choco factory, and now we've reached our sweet endings. It's a whirlwind of roasting, grinding, and tempering, all to create that perfect piece of heaven. It's not just a treat, it's a feat of craftsmanship and dedication. So next time when you take a bite of your favorite chocolate, remember the journey it took to get to you. And remember, stressed is just dessert spelled backward.